How's it going, everybody? It's another edition of Academy Film Room here from the Star in Frisco, as it's now week 13 of the NFL season. And while we don't really know when the Ravens are going to play before they take on the Cowboys, we're still going to break down Baltimore and Dallas for you. Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans, and this is a Baltimore team that, as always, as this organization goes, they'll bring the defense. The offense, though, from the Cowboys struggled to run the football, especially in short yardage situations the other day against Washington and the football team in a loss, but it was also a lot of play calling that went into that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we've been on Zeke, right? Zeke's had a little fumbling issue, but at the end of the day, he's still a top 5 running back, and I don't think anybody's doubting that, right? So when you have a top 5 running back, you have to find ways to get him the ball. So Kellen Moore, as offensive coordinator, regardless of how efficient Zeke is being at this time, you have to get creative, and I don't think we were that last week, at least not at full time. So let's take a peek here at a situation that we have. Everybody remembers the 4th and inches call. 4th and inches, right? 4th and inches, we're underneath with Andy Dalton, and we decide to drop back 5 yards and throw the ball 20 yards to an ensuing CeeDee Lamb here to try to convert this this 4th down opportunity. So you see we drop back here, we're throwing it to CeeDee Lamb, but should we really be throwing the ball on 4th and inches, right? When you have an Ezekiel Elliott by the number 21 in the backfield. I don't think so. Let's take a look at it from the other angle. So as you guys see here, right? As a quarterback, Andy Dalton is stepping up to the line of scrimmage, and I'm pretty sure this was just a pass call that was called, right? It came down from Kellen Moore, said, pass the ball. But had he had the option to have a running play here, right? Look what you have here. You got 21 in the backfield, right? We got the Connor Bros on the inside, Big Looney right here. When you come up to the line of scrimmage, you guys see these 2 linemen right here? Imagine if these 2 guys take that guy. Imagine if these 2 guys take that guy. What do you have right here? You have a huge gap. I mean, this is the Red Sea. This is Moses putting the doggone staff in the ground. Huge opportunities here. Let's look at it on the other side. If you didn't want to go this way, you have 2 for 2. He kicks that guy out, and we work up to the linebacker. You still have running lanes here. We have to find a way to get him the ball. We snap the play here. Obviously, we're going to a drop back, but there's plenty of opportunity. Let's play, pause right there. Imagine if we just dick the ball right there. I think we can get a couple inches.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point. You only need a couple of inches.
That's it.
So with this being said, I mean, he doesn't convert. Instead, you take a really long play to develop off and to the right, and that ends up going incomplete, and Darby is all over CeeDee Lamb here. But earlier in the game, the Cowboys saw another 4th and inches and a short yardage situation where they did convert.
Absolutely. So as we talk about what Kellen Moore decided not to do on this particular play, right, let's look at an opportunity that he had earlier, and he actually took it upon himself to get creative, right? Not only does he take advantage of 21 being in the backfield, he also takes advantage of the other guy, Tony Pollard, right, who happens to be playing pretty doggone well. He not only does he do that, he puts Pollard at the running back position, he puts Ezekiel Elliott at the fullback position, right? Very similar here. This is a third and 1 situation. Look at the matchups right here, okay? We have a full line here, all 5 linemen, and we have 2 tights with the tight end. Let's go ahead and run this play, and we'll get a little bit more detail as we go forward. Run Cooper in motion, run a dive play with our fullback, a.k.a. Ezekiel Elliott, and not only do we get the 1 yard that we needed, we actually get 8 yards here because he's running like we know 21 can run. Let's take a peek at it from this other angle here. And again, I'll show you guys from the quarterback's perspective, what are we looking at? Pause it right there. Look at the matchups we have here. These guys are coming down in a traditional 4-down front. Whenever they come in a traditional 4-down front, we have our 5 linemen down plus our 2 tight ends. So we have 7 guys to block. How many guys? 4, right? So we have 7 guys to block 4. We can always work up to the next level, but we only need how many yards? 1. Right? So we have these 2 guys that are going to double up right here. These 2 guys are going to double up. So these guys are brothers, right? These guys, they're partners. When they come up to the line of scrimmage, they put their hand in the ground. They look at each other like this, and they say, this is going to be easy because we have 600 pounds against his 300 pounds. And they're going to go shoulder to shoulder, and they're going to run this dude out the hole. Let's take a look at how this goes. All right, so as we go here, we run Coop in motion just to keep a little action. Boom, here it is right there. Rewind it one more time for me, Kate. Right there. Again, as I mentioned before, these 2 guys are going to wall this guy out to create this lane. These 2 guys here are buckling him down. I don't know what's going on here, but he's getting manhandled, right? This is exactly what you want, regardless of the all-pros that you do have or you don't have up front. The guys that we have are fully capable of creating these holes and allowing number 21 to get going, just like he does here. Hits the thing hard, hot and bothered right there. Boom, easy access for 8 yards, easy.
And that's something that the Cowboys could take advantage of, whether or not Zach Martin is available and whether or not Cam Irving is available on the tackle spot as well. But now whenever it comes to Baltimore, they run the football especially well with their quarterback, Lamar Jackson. You got to contain him. He's not as big of a threat in the passing game. How do you slow him down through the air before you have him beat you on the ground?
Yeah, so everybody knows Lamar Jackson is an absolute threat on the ground, right? One area that he's continuing to try to improve upon is his passing game. And one of the areas that he really needs to work on is his footwork, right? And I call this hyperactive peripheral vision, right? He's almost too aware of what's going on around here. And what you see here at Tennessee, this is one of their rivalry games, right? Tennessee takes their linemen and they run their defensive ends or outside linebackers up the field. What does that do? It creates a form of containment. They're not even going after Lamar. They're simply running up the field and then they're retracing their steps just to come back in case he wants to get out the pocket. Let's take a look at what that does to him right here. So again, we have these guys. We got our 4-down linemen. They're bringing one safety here. They run their defensive ends up the field, okay, to create a pocket. And look what it does to Lamar Jackson. He has absolutely no reason to be moving around right now unless he was going to step over in the pocket and deliver this strike right here to their open receiver to Brown. But he moves too much in the pocket, doesn't set his feet because of that hyperactive peripheral vision, right? And he throws the ball on the move on a highly inaccurate pass. This is something that we have to do. If we were ever going to run a 3-4 defense this week, this is the week to do it because we can go ahead and take advantage of his errors here.
Yeah, continue to push from the outside. But now if you go back to that final play, whenever you're looking at how Lamar Jackson does utilize his feet, he's going to try and get to the edge. You can't let him get there.
Absolutely, yeah. So as we go on to the next play here, we're going to look at another way in which Lamar Jackson tries to threaten you, right? So obviously we've seen how we can affect him in his footwork, right, with throwing the ball. We can make him inaccurate. But when he's going to run, he is one of the fastest guys in this league, quarterback or not. So when he does run, how do we make sure that we bottle him up and not allow him to have these big gaping, gashing runs that we can't allow for? So snap the ball right here. Again, our guys are going to go up the field, right? Again, creating this big pocket. Look at this wide track that they take, right? But what happens on the inside? When we have our one-on-one matchups, we have to beat these offensive linemen. Our defensive line is playing better. We need these guys to step up. You guys see two of their defensive linemen here for Tennessee take advantage of the offensive line there for Baltimore. They push him out the pocket. Again, he avoids the first guy. Hardly is he ever going to get brought down by that guy. But this is what I want you to pay attention to. As he gets out the pocket, everybody in the crowd's like, oh, crap, here he goes, right? Look at these guys from Tennessee. These guys take an amazing angle. These two defenders right here, most guys would take the angle what? To go meet him, right? And try to meet him as close to the line of scrimmage as possible. Pay attention very carefully to the angles these guys take. They take the sideline angle. They go straight down to 40 right here because they know that he's trying to get to the edge. They know he's faster than them. So if they took the angle to come downhill, he would get around them. They don't allow for him to get outside because they're being strategic, they're being smart, and they're making sure that they use the sideline as their friend.
And that's something the Cowboys defense is certainly going to have to do whenever they take on Lamar Jackson. Should he be available? Remember, right now, we don't know if he's even going to be available, but their backup in RG3 also brings a bit of a mobile presence as well from a quarterback standpoint. So either way, the Cowboys are going to have to practice like this and continue containment issues. He's Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. That'll do it for Academy Film Room.